Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Titan Ascendant League. I'm Romeo, joint with Rue. This one's being produced by Shivam, and we got a hell of a game for us on our hands. And of course, No Quarter Dynasty versus Zafa's Little Chuds. How are you doing, Rue?
I'm good. We are ready for hopefully what will be quite an exciting game for us this evening. Two teams not doing so great so far, has to be said, in Titan Ascendant, but looking to build, from maybe some of their past transgressions and look forward to the future. Still very early on in the season, right? Still plenty of time to get up into that top 4 race, but neither team's off the start they would have wanted. Let's see if they can turn it around today.
Yeah, that's kind of the name of it right here, right? We got a team that's in 8th, of course. No Quarter Dynasty. They've won 1 game in total, but they've lost both their series. I think previously we had them against True Minded Gaming, and we had them against Texas A&M Maroon. Now, a win here would do some big things with getting them back into the playoff race. Of course, they're against Zafa's Little Chuds, who's 1-1 right now. There's that big middle of the pack right now from 3 to 6th, where you have Zafa's, Chuds, you have Dragoons, you have Texas, and you have Akuma, all in that, 3 to 6 range. A win there's going to take you to that top of that pack below XSV and True Minded Gaming. So, if you're looking to try and start your season off and get yourself in, a good position for a playoffs, both these teams could use this win. But the bans are underway already. Akali, Jarvan, it's going to be Corky, Poppy. So far, the first 4 bans taken away.
Yeah, interesting to see the focus here. Obviously, in these types of things where it's a capped league, as bless you, we have a bit of focus on meta bans, a bit of focus on personal champions that you also want to be taking away. Interesting to point out the Poppy, though, because that's a very targeted ban. Maybe No Quarter looking for something of their own that's a little bit dashy headed into game 1.
Yeah, a lot of lockdowns already been banned away. Senna being the first pick. What do you think is going to be the pair with Senna? Obviously, Nautilus taken down, and they're the ones to ban it. I feel like I see the Nautilus Senna pairing a lot. I mean, TK still on the table. Maybe they try to unbench the Kench. Wukong going to be locked in on the other side. Who would you like to see paired with the Senna?
I think you can go a lot of things right now. Engage support's completely fine. Senna's in one of those really odd phases of Senna where you don't actually need to protect her all too much. You don't need that tank. Especially, she's one farming. If you go tanky, she's actually going to missing out on overall team value as a result. I feel like you can honestly delay if you want to as well here, but with the Seraphine being picked early by No Quarter, maybe you just want to try and match supports as best you can. Wukong taken as well. When they just pick the Talia afterwards, we're going to have some asymmetry headed out this first rotation. Maokai is another thing I've seen work very well with Senna, though.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a little bit of Maokai with Senna. I think it is on U.GG, her top pairing of supports, at least in solo queue. I know that's her top pairing. Talia is going to give them a little bit of rotation around this map. I'm really curious what Chud ends up looking for a jungle. Of course, Maokai could be a flex jungle pick. I would doubt it. I think that would lock them away from a lot of damage. Sivir and Seraphine coming in on the other side. I mean, it's just a really safe bot lane, right? You're just farming up and waiting for these team fights.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, you could argue the same for Chud, right? This is 2 quite similar ideologies in the bot lane. Maokai has amazing team fight value, maybe not quite on the level of the Seraphine Encore with all that shielding it afterwards, but a very nice team fight ult to just set the stage for how you guys want to engage. I do like the basis of both these drafts, to be honest. I think No Quarter, if they can find a solid, dependable mid now into this Talia, could be looking at a very nice, comfortable R5 counter as well.
Yeah, Syndra. They got a lot of scaling right now on No Quarter Dynasty. Are you worried about their early game at all? Because I feel like right now you don't have much of an early game pre-level 6 for No Quarter.
Yeah, their pre-6 is a little bit scary. Once the Wukong gets 6, I'm a little bit less worried, but at the same time, there's a lot of early game champions being threatened right now by Chud, especially taking Sion Silas right at the end. Maokai feeds off very well in the early levels, just level 3 he'll be absolutely fine. Talia has decent enough base damage to do a good chunk of work. No Quarter going to need something very winning in the top side, and Aatrox isn't really the Sion killer you're looking for a lot of the times. Still fine, not a bad matchup for the Aatrox, and that's why he's taking it here, but not maybe the most dependable version of the Sion killer that you could look for.
What would you have rathered over the Aatrox? What do you think here would have given No Quarter a bit more of a win in the top side? Because I agree with you. You need a winning top side. At least Aatrox is like relatively early game. But what would you have rather seen in the Sion? Because we were talking off stream right, about how Sion is busted. Yone would be super strong.
He's such a disgusting champion to Sion. It's not just like the early game as well. Aatrox, you can dominate in the early game, but having to wait for those Qs feels awful. Yone just kind of thrives the whole way through, and it only gets better as well as the game goes on. Whereas Aatrox, you feel kind of locked into the route that you're going down, and no matter what you're choosing there, you're not choosing another tank, which means your front line's going to be kind of crappy anyway. So I don't think there's a real good option into a Sion, and that's why you should never let a Sion through. But it's interesting to see them picking towards the Aatrox here, and it's also interesting to see Chud doing that double flex middle thing with the Sylas and the Taliyah, putting the Sylas into mid.
Yeah, I think... I'm trying to think... Sylas gets so much value in this game. Like, there's a stupid amount of value coming out of the Sylas. And I just feel like when I'm looking at these two drafts as a whole, Chuds feels like they have a good late game, but they also have such a strong like early to mid game. Whereas right now, what I'm really worried about No Quarter Dynasty is outside of this Aatrox, they have nothing. And like you said, Aatrox isn't necessarily that Sion killer, right? Like, maybe Aatrox still wins the lane, but it's not necessarily going to be, I dominate the Sion and we get through early game. It's a scary thing for this Wukong, I think, because I feel like the Taliyah is able to rotate around this map with a Sylas in that mid lane and just pick off that Wukong early if they want. And while at the same time, they have lanes that are just... they're kind of chill to do whatever.
Yeah, I don't really back either team's early game all too much, but we'll have to see what happens as we transition from theoretical basis into the more practical basis on the Rift for game number 1, as we lay down the gauntlet between Chud and NQD.
Yeah, the gauntlet's been laid down. Everyone running straight to their lanes. We do look like we're going to see that ward on the Raptors coming out of No Quarter Dynasty as they send the Syndra and the Wukong over to place that ward, and it's going to be able to land. The return ward, though, going to get landed by the Taliyah onto the enemy Raptors, and everyone knows where the junglers are going to be starting now.
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone also knows that the Taliyah has turned on stream mode, so for the rest of this game, they're called Taliyah. We are not... I hate when people do this. Like, please.
It is 50 cal Taco.
Ooh.
50 cal Taco is the Taliyah.
Well, 50 cal Taco may have done a stream mode, but he's also doing something very sneaky here. Obviously, he saw that the ward got placed on his Raptors. He puts the ward on enemy red instead of on enemy Raptors. Goes to the invade. And this is very close to just being a full-on smite fight. I think he's going to back off, realizing it's just a little bit too low.
Yeah, it does look like he's going to be able to go chill and walk away from that one, which is... it's a big invade early. You're probably a higher elo player than me. What do you think of early invades on jungler? Because I've seen two camps of junglers where some people are like, that level 1 invade griefs your entire game, versus some who are like, oh yeah, definitely take it anytime you can.
In this situation, I don't mind it. I feel like going for a straight up cross map when you can't get any value is disgusting, because you just let the enemy 6 camp spawn while you're enemy 4 camp spawn while your 4 are still waiting. So your second rotation is disgusting, it's slow, and you delay so much. This situation, taking enemy Raptors, it's a nice start, but it's all about the Raptors respawn. That's where it's really going to be told as to who gets the better early game, as Goofy is not having a good early game.
Yeah, and a big engagement coming in the bot side here. Jed going to be stuck under the turret. Maokai just on top of him, not letting him run anywhere. Jed trying to get away. The double stun, they're going to come off the high note from the Seraphine. The high note going to miss on the other side. Meanwhile, on the top side, Aatrox going to be able to pick off that Sion just off screen here. And it's... so much bloodshed on this Rift early, but not all time going to die. There's going to be the first Q, the second Q, and the third one's going to be what does it on top of that empowered auto attack. And although Swarm takes a little bit of damage on the way out, Aatrox becoming the sign killer me and you both weren't expecting.
Yeah, I mean, he can definitely do it if Jorst allows it, but I didn't expect Jorst to allow it. That's kind of the big difference maker there. The fact that the Sion, you never really see you allow yourself to get killed, but Sion's one of those champs sometimes feels like you're able to get away with it somewhat. Could look for the return frag, actually.
Yeah, just look for the return frag off that TP. However, Swarm still has flash up. I think he's going to be chilling a little bit. He does get pushed onto that tower, but I think as long as he can find himself a good back timing here, it's going to look very good for him. He's the level up. The third cube not going to fully land. Still gets a sizable amount of damage on that one, though.
Yeah, I mean, the real bad thing there for Jaws was where the waves were. He dies just as the wave is coming in to meet in the middle. His wave hadn't been thinned out by Swarm, and he'd already thinned out Swarm's backline minions. That means that he's lost out in XP as a result of this overall play. He's going to get maybe a small bit back there while Swarm is basing and TPing in, but that kind of XP difference is going to matter a lot more for the Scion than it ever will for the Aatrox.
Yeah, I definitely would be inclined to agree. I'm a little interested to see how that continues, because I think Swarm being ahead right now is huge, and right now they got a lot of pushing lanes. Talia's already going for a lot of invades on this Wukong, though. We're seeing it happening right now in the middle.
The Route 3
back to the Raptor pit. It is going to still go over to Wukong, but Talia is making good use of these engages. So if Aatrox starts losing top lane at any point, I think Seismic's game gets a lot harder.
That's such a greedy
jumping
base.
on the Talia, like you said, the base going to get caught. The Nimbus strike forward, and now Laker going to be trying to flash forward on to Talia. Gets the kill, but Silas going to get the return kill. And now the 1v1 begins. Flash over the wall. Silas is going to get away. It's a 1-for-1. Meanwhile, on the top side, Aatrox kills that Scion again.
Yeah, uses Flash in the exchange, but this time, of course, Jost has no TP to get back. And a second death is typically the breaker in the lane. The first one's never too bad when you have TP. It's the second one that typically destroys you. And we'll see if it is going to be the case right now as Swarm gets a free push into the lane. Going to get even some turret proccing if he wants. If he goes for the proxy, that's a little bit greedy. But Jaws has to catch the minion wave at the same time. It's level 6 Aatrox versus level 4 just ticked up to level 5 Scion. That is the difference right now in the overall server. That is the difference in this game. And he's also forcing Taco way away from his own front pit as well.
And just like that, Talia getting invaded here, right? I feel like it's the play for Talia to be doing a lot of invading, but now that Aatrox is to be ahead, that top side becomes super dangerous. Of course, you can imagine Silas, if there ever is a big fight for one of those camps, Silas should be able to rotate and match it, but with how ahead this Aatrox is starting to get, it could end up being a big fight in that blue side jungle.
Well, absolutely. I think we can get maybe even more than just a big fight. We could be seeing some 4v4s, potentially even 5v5s as it happens down the bot side when TPs come back online, because we can see these guys want to scrap early. We're going to keep on scrapping.
Yeah, Maokai going to be going forth on to that Seraphine. Meanwhile, here's going to be invade from the Talia. Doesn't get the stun they were looking for on Jet, and now Wukong going to come in. Wukong still not at the cycle, not level 6 yet. It doesn't look like a lot's going to happen off the back of a seismic shove myths.
Yeah, that was such greedy movement from Jed, but it worked out so well. He's just so confident. Love to see that from an ADC early on in a series. Knows exactly how to keep himself alive, does precisely what is required, and able to escape in a situation where he didn't have Flash, only had Barrier, able to use it very effectively, and gets himself out safely, as this is not safe at all in the top side. Why is the Scion level 5 and Aatrox level 7?
It's level 5. Of course, the ultimate not available right now for Swarm, but another Q gonna land. Goes forth under the turret. It's an Umbral dash to find that second Darkened Blade strike. And Swarm able to just walk away casually. It's a third kill for Swarm. No quarter Dynasty coming up in a big way against the Chuddy ones.
Yeah, I mean, this is everything through top lane right now. Aatrox getting ahead early is an absolute must, and he has done everything that's required, plus a little bit extra. I'm shocked that it's even happened, and that's maybe making it now even worse with the Weaver's Wall used up towards the top side. Taco's trying to sweep out where Swarm was, but he based under his turret. The discipline to do that as the Aatrox when you've got 3 kills in your lane is amazing to see. You don't see many top laners after getting 3 solo kills still protect themselves against getting ganked, especially on that level 6 time until they have so much more impact on the rest of the Rift. Now the Weaver's Wall's gone, that's 2 minutes of security for a lot of your other lanes.
This is shaping up right now. Going out of the draft, I was expecting No Quarter Dynasty to have a very difficult early game. So you look at that team comp, you look at that 5, and you think, man, these guys thrive in the late game. However, they're doing so good in this early game right now that I think Chud's gonna have a hard way trying to find their way back in it. What point do you think we might start seeing Chud accelerate? Do you think the team fights, they might be able to get ahead? Do you think it's a moment where they're going to be hoping for mistakes? What do you think Chud needs to do right now to try
It's got to be skirmishes. It's got to be finding the right skirmish at the right time. And unfortunately, I don't really see a right time occurring all too soon either, right? You've got your Sion going for the proxies, using his ultimate to get it off. He's going to be able to make it work between the tier 2 and tier 3. But as a result of that, Swarm's just happily farming on his own, and the push is still going against you in bot and mid. Easy first rake now for No Quarter. Not even looking for the cross map is what's really sending the alarm bells, though. The fact that your Talia is on red, moving down to Krugs, when you have to know that the Drake is going down, you have to know you need something back in return. Grubs might not be all too important of an objective in this day and age, but you've got to take something on the other side of the rift if you're going to give away that early of a Drake for free.
Yeah, it's an early Drake. You're going to be stacking those Drakes for late game as well. And it looks like we have some good soul options still on the table, right? That Hextech soul still available. That Inferno soul still available. I think both these teams benefit the teams greatly. Sivir loves a Hextech. Syndra's going to love an Inferno. Of course, a Mountain Drake soul probably doesn't do a lot for them. Chemtech's not bad. What's your opinion on Chemtech Drake,
I don't mind a Mountain.
Really?
Chem's not great in this game. A Mountain, like, look at the squad from Chud. Like, a lot of it is going to kind of struggle against a Mountain Soul, especially if it's picked up as early as... I mean, any Soul picked up as early as it's looking right now is going to be dangerous. A Swarm pops a World Ender, gets stopped by the Unraveled Earth. But
that was a greedy World Ender.
It was quite greedy.
I'm surprised to see it proc like that. I know they're trying to defend the grubs, but it just doesn't feel like you're ever going to be able to touch Talia there. However, speaking of touching Talia, Cyclone in the back. Talia able to get the seismic shove right into the loving arms of Laker, who's going to use that unleashed power. That
was a flash.
Questionable.
Yeah.
Out of every flash you've seen in that life, go ahead and tier list that one for me.
I want to be involved, but I already had the assist. That's the tier it goes in.
I want to be involved, but I already have the assist. Oh god, that was a creature-like flash. I'm not gonna lie, that one could have hurt to witness.
It wasn't great, but I mean, Wukong flashes a lot of New Quarter. Like, I'm not gonna try and downplay it from that perspective, but it might not matter all too much if they just give more fights, unless they don't want to take.
Well, there's gonna be the Weaver's Wall. They're trying to run away. Laker not going to be able to. Aatrox tries to double step back in, but the Wukong saying, nah, actually, I'm good. There's going to be the Dawning Shadow, and it just finishes off with a shutdown, going over to probably the one you wanted to go over to the least.
Yeah, now, but Talia it's back to the end.
Talia going to be able to get some of those little Krugs. Gets 2, 3, 4. Gets all the little Krugs. Talia's happy with that invade.
Yeah, I mean, she can look wrapped as well, because Seismic's forced into a base on a really awkward time. Starlight so late to making that play. When enemy support roams up, when you're ahead, you have to be there first. Your Sivir can survive in a 1v2, right? This is the thing with both these drafts. Your ADCs can survive quite a while in a 1v2 type situation. To not be going full force on the grubs when the enemy team are, and then still look for the fight is insane. No Quarter of the team that started up the grubs, they took all 3 off tempo. Mid and top move in to make it happen, but the support is not there, and it ends up just being a 4v3. Bear in mind that the supports also had level 6 star play. Imagine Starlight's there. The encore value in that type of a fight is insane. Instead, Nature's Grasp gets absolutely everything done, and Chud worked their way back into this game now.
Yeah, it's... Now, Encore gonna miss the flash away. However, Jed's just able to finish the job. I mean, when it's a 3-man tower dive, your Senna's left alone, and that's also the one thing to kind of get back from the tempo of that play. You get a kill on that Sivir. We're gonna have to see if it is able to be accelerated at all, because that's still a very safe bot lane. Senna still was able to catch all those waves. They do lose both sums, so Goofy Boy Joe going to struggle a little bit now, having to play even safer than they already were. Talia going to be coming to the top side, though. Can they find the seismic shove onto Swarm? It doesn't look like it. I guess, did they not see them leave the bush?
I guess you hope that he backsteps because you can't chase him down if he's already in the top rush. Is it, like, maybe the rationale is like the only way we get this kill is if he giga-brained himself. So we go for that, but it didn't look pretty. As unfortunately, Zafa is going to go wide once more, and Seismic's going to go for an invade of his own finally.
an invade of his own. Going to get those Krugs. Able to return those
this is
Krugs that were
bad.
so cruelly taken earlier. Goofy Boy Joe, no flash, no barrier. His support not close enough to him. There's going to be the Cyclone. And Goofy Boy Joe, right to the gray screen. Going to give Seismic another kill.
So I just mentioned how both bot laners should be fine playing in kind of like a 1v2 or 1v0, 1v1 type lane. Griefy Boy turned into Griefy Boy, just way too far forward, no sums, and down XP, down items in the 1v1. If Jed had just walked forward, he may have even been able to get something started by himself. The fact that it's then like effective 4v2 on the map with Laker roaming down, Seismic stealing Krugs, obviously Starlight involved in the play, that couldn't have gone much worse for Goofy, who was just way too far forward without either summoner available. Second death now guaranteed. There's also bot prio is secured for NQD to look for the second Drake.
And that second Drake, I think, just solely goes over them. These Drake stacking is going to be chill. The support is waiting in the wings, but it's kind of just a waste of time. You know you're not going to get anything there. You know they're
I respect
taking
the
it.
attempt.
Ocean Drake going to go over. It's the Mountain Soul you were talking about.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I feel like Sivir, Seraphine, a lot of the champions are typically on the squishier side. A couple of Mountain Drakes behind them, plus the extra shielding. Suddenly, the Senna has maybe 2 more auto attacks to actually get through and get the kills. And that matters a lot. That is the time in which the Sivir can close the distance with an On the Hunt. That is the time which Laker can land yet another Scatter of the Week. That is the time that Seismic can get around the backline with a Cyclone. A Mountain Soul is actually huge for NQD here, but it, of course, is all about the timing of the Soul as well.
The Encore going to go. It does land on the Maokai, not necessarily the Encore you were looking for. Now the Weaver's Wall going to cut off Seraphine. She's able to flash through it, and Sivir going to go on the hunt, trying to keep their support alive. They do. They're not able to find any of the return kills, and looks like everything's even for now, but Seismic looking to make something happen. Starlight not going to be able to stay in the play for much longer, but Maokai, or Wukong on the side trying to go on the Maokai, finds the setup. Maokai tries to go in with that twisted advance, but it's just going to allow Wukong to claim it off the back of a crushing blow. That Cyclone's still alive, but it gets Seismic shoved away. Can he stick to Talia? He can, and he's going to fall. Syndra a little late in the rotate. The TP going to come out of the Silas. Now, can Silas find it in the spell shield? Going to get broken. Silas stealing that Encore ult and going to go back to lane, but that's a big ult to steal. Maybe he can find a fight against the Syndra here.
Yeah, but we're talking maybes in terms of Chuds. We're talking facts in terms of NQD. Another positive play. Could have been better if they hadn't gone for the final one onto the Talia, but 2 for 1 is still a good play. And it wasn't a massive shutdown on sizing either. About 560 gold given over to the enemy jungler, and it's not even going to be that impactful in a lane. A Swarm's going to trade flash in the top side with Jaws. This is more what the Sion Atrix matchup should be looking like. The fact that it's just taken this many deaths and kills is kind of insane, but now we see someone neutralized. But that's the bot side play. If the Talia dies as well, then it's even better, of course, but just a little bit over exuberant, but still positive play, and it's yet another positive play stacked on top as they're going to keep on looking for more.
Wukong tried to find this Talia here. Doesn't have the Cyclone, but they are setting up for that Herald. There's going to be the TP coming from Liker. Seismic stepping forward. Scatter the Weak can do a lot of damage. There's the high note. Mark Boots going to get annihilated from the Rift in the blink of an eye off a small misstep into the stun. And just like that, it's a 5v4 to play for this Herald. You kind of have to drop it if you can.
You'd expect so, but they don't seem to be. They want to be posturing around it still. Jaws has the top lane TP already used. The new shield has already dissipated. They're still posturing like they want to go playing for this. This is kind of crazy.
I don't think it's a winning play. You're 5v4, you're down gold.
Oh my god, flash
There's
scatter.
Gonna be the Encore. Scatter
Oh, he reached!
In the backside, it's going to find... Oh, snap. There's going to be the Dawning Shadow, but Seismic able to walk away. Sion gets that big fight going on from the high note's going to miss. However, his team's not there to back him up with the damage. They're too busy trying to deal with Swarm, who's just so strong right now. There's going to be the Weaver's Wall. Wukong barely going to get away off that one. They defend the Herald, but now the Darkened Blade going to be used. World Ender going to go forward. It does
They're
find
waiting
the
for those
W
cooldowns.
on to the center. Goofy Boy Joe going to get stuck against the Jet, who is ready to go in, but not able to get enough damage on the Ricochet. Now it's going to be Goofy Boy Joe who finds Laker, and it's 2 members down right now for NQD on a fight they should have been easily winning. Seismic around the corner.
They didn't commit. Jed did not want to commit into that. Of course, he had the rest of his team so incredibly low, but he was basically fine. Jaws focused on the front line. He almost had like a 1v2 situation against a very low-looking Senna. Still had barrier, so had a little bit of extra health to play around with. But the fact that Jed doesn't go full commit into that shows that maybe NQD aren't quite as confident as they could have been out of this early game. It's now a play that kind of goes Chud's way. Even if it is just a 2-for-2, it's time that you buy yourself to get back into this one. You're a minute away from this Drake now as well. You stop that Rift Arrow play from happening in a 4 versus 5 situation. And now you can look to go either down towards the bot side where that Drake is, or you can look to finally trade an objective instead of just giving it up.
And at the end of the day, you do have a Senna. Even though NQD has that late game scaling, Senna is a champion that if you can protect that puppy in the late game, you can get a lot of work done, and Chud has that comp to do it. Chud has the comp where if Goofy Boy Joe is behind the Maokai, behind the Silas, nobody can really touch them. You would need a crazy flank angle from the Aatrox or the Wukong to get on top of that Senna. So there is that potentiality that if you can protect that Senna, it looks good. But there's going to be the Twisted Advance and the Nature's Grasp, picking up 3 of them. The Root goes forward onto the Seraphine, who goes down, but it is going to be a trade. Support for support. Both of them going to fall. That means no Encore from the set of NQD. The Cyclone's still available. However, so is that Silas hijack, and it looks like they might just be dropping Dragon.
Yeah, that was an awkward play there from Seismic. He was a little bit caught out off the first part. Goofy lands the W of Senna, that delayed route, and he takes it with him into his backline. Laker rooted up from that, then gets caught by the Nature's Grasp and had no chance of escape. I'd like to see something like maybe a Mikhail's actually come through from Starlight soon as maybe their second item. I feel like you need that cleansability right now, whether it's to get rid of the Senna, whether it's to get rid of the Maokai. Keep someone on your team safe. Either carry. It has to happen. The fact that you're losing fights now, when you're up 2k gold, I mean, sure, you scale into the late game. So do they, to a certain extent. They still have a Senna. You've got to be taking advantage of the fights that you can win. And when you're up in gold, to be losing a fight and then also losing Drake off the back of it is not a good sign.
It becomes this situation where even though NQD are ahead, and even though they have decent scaling, you get a little worried. We're watching them lose fights they shouldn't lose. And it becomes the question of, with NQD being at the bottom of the table right now, is this going to be the issue in their story? Is it going to be one of those things where they're good at finding themselves a lead, but they're bad at playing these fights as a team?
In some regards, that's the easiest thing to fix as someone from the outside. It's worse if you're just getting gapped the whole way through the game. It's also a lot worse for morale in some regards if you just never have a chance. At least you feel the whiff of possibility, but you still have to be able to convert.
They go on Goofy Boy Joe, but the Cyclone not going to be used in time. The Whirlwind is popped. However, Seismic is using that Cyclone to try to get the movement speed to get out. They are going to live with 1 HP, but here comes the unstoppable onslaught as Sion going to find that shutdown onto Seismic. Goofy Boy Joe does fall to Laker. Encore going to go forward. It lands on 2, but it is still going to be a very dead Jed as the Scout of the Week is going to protect the Liker, but it's still 2 down for 1.
That was such a weird fight to see. Goofy Boy got absolutely abandoned by his team. They're all trying to chase Seismic, who just about gets tagged up by Jaust on the Unstoppable Onslaught after somehow surviving the initial play. And then both ADCs are just kind of left out to dry. Goofy Boy gets deleted by Laker. Jed, kind of in the middle of nowhere. The Unstoppable Onslaught made a great position for Jaws. We're going to carry on this play now.
Oh, and there's going to be engaged onto the back. Liker going to get stuck in the Weaver's wall, and they're just an immediate pick as Chud finding so many avenues to get back in this game.
Did they have vision over the wall? Did Chud have vision over the wall, or did Mark Boots just send out that Encore blind?
It doesn't look like they had vision.
If he sent that Encore blind, he is absolutely insane, and I respect the hell out of it. He got a 2-man charm, and it was an amazing play.
It worked. It worked really well for them. I think it might have just been a predict.
That's kind of crazy. Maybe the Maokai gets a little bit of vision as well, walking around the side, but another nice snap engage found by Chud. Still down a little bit of gold. They do, of course, peel off that Baron, but I don't think they were ever properly threatening the Baron there. The only time you commit to it is if NQD decide not to show at all. Not the case as they show up and they sacrifice a member, make sure that the whole worm isn't going to fall down. But this is now a solid game state for Chud, right? From where it was, they've brought things back into a place where it's playable. Senna's at 2 items at around 22 minutes, kind of where she needs to be. Your Talia's doing very well, farming incredibly well as well, as you'd expect from more of the AP jungles. Your Cyrus is in a great place, 2.5 items for Mark Boots. Sion is Sion, so it doesn't really care. No one cares where he is. It doesn't matter at all. Chud have brought themselves into this game in a way that we wouldn't expect it maybe 10, 15 minutes ago.
No, I really wouldn't have. I thought, like, the start of this game screams it is no quarter Dynasty's game to lose. And the thing is, they've kind of done these things where now they're starting to lose it, right? We've been watching them so far ahead, and they're losing fights that are 45 well ahead. And that's a big risk factor. I still think their team comp, the longer this game goes, the more favored it is for no quarters Dynasty. They've already opened that mid lane. They've opened that top lane. They've opened that bot lane. They have a lot of that map prio. But this next dragon's going to be a big deal. It puts them on soul point if they can claim it. It's a dragon they still should be able to claim. However, if Chud wins another team fight, I'm worried for no quarter.
Yeah, I'm also worried for Chud, though, because we just got a sneak peek there at Goofy's stacks, and he has 48. So he might be at 2 items, but he is going to be very delayed in getting his range and his crit. And as such, also the lifesteal and everything else that makes Senna so difficult to play against. Stacks are not the be-all and end-all of Senna these days, but it's a lot.
Forward, it doesn't land on anyone. The Cyclone, meanwhile, on the back line, going to hit big time. It is Silas trying to get away with the Cyclone, but it's not going to be enough. It's Goofy Boy Joe and Mark Boot's going to fall. They are also going to be able to find Ohen Spock. Oh snap, as the support for Chuds falls as well, and Sion, I mean, just caught in an infinite loop. However, Swarm's so kind. Swarm's so kind to hit the blast cone to let Sion live. Says, I've killed you enough times. It's okay. Go be free, my son. We're gonna take this mountain break. And finally, NQD back where they should be.
But they're back where they should be because it was another 4v5, again in their favor, but this time without the Sion. This is a Sion who has reached 2 items and has anti-heal, who was just not present for the fight at all. They TP after the 3 of them are already dead, and NQD might be biting off a little more than they can chew here. If they make this Baron work, though, they set themselves to go straight back to where they were kind of 15 minutes ago.
It's a coin flip play. The Weaver's Wall going to go for it. It prevents them from taking the Baron. Is there going to be a fight on it? Mark Boots waiting in the bush. Swarm going to get caught there by the chains. However, his team's still there to back him up. The Infernal Chain's going to pull them back. A big fight in the jungle. Talia going to be able to find the Cinder to open it up. There's no encore available to use, even though it would be a huge encore here. It's a double kill right now from 50 Cal Taco. Can he make it a triple? Jed going to go down. There's the triple kill. Talia still up, maybe looking for that penta. Can they find it? It's a quadra, but Senna going to take it away from... It's still an ace.
It's still an ace, and it's just at the price of your Silas, who was there to bait the play the whole time. I don't know why NQD are taking that fight. They're off-tempo. They need to take their bases. They just got the Drake. They have items to purchase. They have health to restore. And yet they go fishing for a fight that was on paper a 5v5. It wasn't in actuality, because the Sion was stuck in the Baron pit. But it didn't matter. It's such a disgusting fight for Chud's comp. Look at the champions they have. They have Talia, they have Silas, they have Maokai, they have Senna. All of these champions love fighting in these choky conditions, and all of the cooldowns to NQD are not there yet at all. Seismic had no Cyclone. Laker only has his Unleashed Power just coming off cooldown now. It was an awful timing to take a fight. You took it off tempo. You're in between taking the Drake and your bases. You didn't have items, you didn't have abilities, and you just threw away your whole lead. The only thing you have going for yourself now is the fact that you're on soul point.
Yeah, and it's... I don't even think the position of the fight was bad. If you have Encore and Cyclone, you win that. They are literally in a line running at you. However, you take a fight with no... I don't know if we thought we were going to burn Baron that quickly in time with Sivir Syndra.
But they could have disengaged tier 1. Like, they
yeah, that too.
Like, you look at the Baron play, oh, are they going to check the Baron? Oh, they do. Okay, right, let's back away. You can just take a base. You go for a cheeky play, it doesn't work. Just base. Maybe you lose 500 gold overall. Instead, now you lose 5,000.
I don't get that play. It felt like such a rookie mistake to go and throw a play like that. Weaver's Wall going to be away. Nature's Grass going to go for. Blocked by his own Weaver's Wall. The Encore going to go for. There is the hero play. However, they turn it. They do find Jed in a 1-for-1. And they get bot turret.
This Talia is huge. that was disgusting. They're going to get mid-tier 1, they're going to get bot-tier 1. I mean, Baron play is still doing Baron play things. Senna's now at 3 items, and we just saw that Taliyah damage was insane. 3.5 items. I guess we tend to do that on most champions, but especially when your build is so burst focus, especially when your champion is so burst focus, you end up with things looking like that, and kills coming out of absolutely nowhere. The fact that that's a 1-for-1 is ridiculous.
Yeah, 50 cal Taco has kind of been the thing keeping Chud in this game. 50 cal Taco has found so much on this Taliyah. They have helped find so many big. I mean, the hero play from Onapsky worked very well. You get the 1-for-1. Now they're setting up Dragon right now. It does have Seismic there first. There's not a lot of vision from either teams on this river at the moment.
Yeah, this is surprising. Lack of vision from both sides right now. Chud looking for a bit of a reset timer. Bear in mind, the Baron's about to end. They could have been a little bit greedy and look for more, maybe then get the vision and take a base 30 seconds before. Instead, they choose to base a little bit earlier. They can set up their vision result, but they don't make the most of the Baron play. That's kind of the trade-off they choose to make, but they know the importance on this Drake in particular. And I think NQD also know that they can drop a Drake or two, right? They got themselves up to 3. You don't need to be putting pressure on every single Dragon now, especially if you feel like you're behind in the overall game state. Give your Sivir the time to scale to 4 items. If you take a fight before she has IE, that's on you.
Yeah, well, right now they do look like they're trying to take a little bit of fight. It's kind of a bit more of a defense at the moment. Taliyah able to just kind of wave clear in their face. They are stepping up. Soul up in 10 seconds. It's a hard fight to not want to play for. There's going to be the seismic shove, though. The Encore finds 2 as well in the back line. There goes the entire squad right now of No Quarter Gaming. They're trying to defend. It's not working very well at all. They lose their Aatrox, and they're going to lose the Soul. For now.
Why are we stepping up, right? Like, it's again the question that NQD have to ask. Do we want to take this fight? Should we be taking this fight? It's a question you have to ask yourself before you look for any sort of engagement, and the answer to both those questions is just no. There is no reason to take that fight. There is no way that you can win that type of a fight. Your Sivir is still at 3.5 items. You don't win in this type of situation. To win at this phase of the game, when you're down in gold as you are, you have to have a 4-item full crit, including IE of all items, ADC. Like, that's the most important crit item that you can possibly possess. The fact that we haven't got Infinity Edge and we're still fishing for an engagement is ridiculous.
6,000 gold down after that play. There was a point they were 3,000 gold up with a scaling team comp, ready to win this game, and it's been throw after throw after throw from No Quarter Dynasty. It's just crumbling. It's crumbling all around them. There is no reason they should be this far behind in a game that they have to win. This is such a VOD review moment of like, hey, squad, pull your shit together, because youch kabibbles. Youch kabibbles.
It's crazy how that isn't working yet. It still conveys the emotion of this type of situation. And honestly, a lot of it is the macro, right? That is the things we're talking about. When you look towards a VOD review, it's these macro decisions that affect the micro gameplay options available to you. NQD, like, I hate to say it, it feels like there's a reason. We're unpacking the reason behind where they are in the standings right now, and unless they can turn the ship around pretty damn quickly, it's only going to get worse from here.
The Swarm going to get dove under this tower. There's going to be the twisted advance forward. However, on the backside, Encore going to find the Maokai. They're going golden. Mark Boots trying to get away. The shutdown is going to go over to Jed. Taliyah trying to make things happen. The Liker going to find Onapsky. There's going to be unstoppable onslaught. It does find Jed. Swarm trying to defend under the turret. The Whirlwind going to be popping on the backside. Unleash power onto the Taliyah. Double kill going to go over Goofy Boy Joe, who sneaks behind the turret.
He missed.
Finds 3. That's a triple kill. Liker can't land anything. Taliyah going to go down and trade 1 for 1. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess for No Quarter Dynasty.
It's a mess, but it's still a massacre. And Chud end up on top once more. They could even look for the end here. Just the 2 of them alive, but 25 seconds on the death timers. There might just be enough for this Scion Center to get this done. It's going to be risky if they want to go for the end. I don't think they have to flip the game over this. If they just want to take turrets and you take an inhib or 2, I think that might be the safer course of action. Looks like maybe that's where they're headed.
Yeah, I imagine we get the double inhib. We walk out, we fall back, we play the Baron, we end the game.
And I'll take you
Whether
mid.
it's through mid or through bot. They left it up. That's... I get it's safer. It is safer. I think it's more of just a safety thing with Wukong, Seraphine, and Sivir spawning on the map. And with how many throws have happened, I'm okay with it. To be honest, you're 8k gold up. It's fine. I mean, you maybe can push it a little more, but I'd rather see we fall back, get Baron, get the inhib, end the game, than attempt to take the inhib, get Cyclone, another throw, only from the opposite side.
I'm inclined to agree on that one, as Osnap has finally used his Tech Flash to hop over a wall. I've been waiting for him to do something of that ilk. I think taking the safer course is kind of what we've been saying the whole time for NQD, so to see Chud do it is something we have to commend, even though it is so tempting to go for the inhib when it looks so free.
World Ender going to be popped super early here. Encore going to go through. Jed's nowhere near this fight. Unstoppable Onslaught going to land. It's a double slow on a Seismic and Swarm. Sila's going to be stepping forward. Jed finally going to be able to get to this fight. Popped on the hunt to get to the scatter of the week. A lot of damage. There's going to be the Cyclone on Talia. Talia gets shut down trying to make a sneaky play.
That ward was
huge. We
burnt
all of our ults, but we do find the kill. It means no Baron. Dragon in a minute's time. We want Cyclone and Encore up for that if you're NQD. If not, Chud going to be trying to set up vision. Hopefully can go get as much vision as they can for this Dragon, because this Dragon fight means everything to both these teams. Seismic on the hunt, though, is going to fight Onapski. Onapski could get picked right before this Dragon, but his team able to defend him. Goofy Boy Joe is on fire right now. Look at that damage. 3 shots will kill a Jed right now. 3 shots will kill a Laker right now. Goofy Boy Joe is more than an assassin. This is Senna in 2026. This right here is 200 years of champ design in the making.
Yeah, and 1 stack away from getting to 100. That's another big breakpoint. Remember, Senna, every 20 stacks is the breakpoint that you're looking for. Yet another 1 stack away. Imagine how much worse that fight goes for NQD if he's at 100 already. It's those small, different, little things that mean so much on this champion. And honestly, that could have been game-ending if he had 100 stacks.
There it is. Stack 100 has just entered Senna's veins as they grow to be even more powerful. Ruination right now is upon No Quarter Dynasty as they're about to walk into a Jawad. Jawad gonna find 2. There's gonna be the Unstoppable Onslaught, and the Scion does Scion things. Dawning Shadow picks off the Seraphine. Seismic not even gonna get the Cyclone off as it's stolen by Mark Boots. Weaver Wall cuts off Jed. Everything going wrong. Hi, Liker. Goodbye, Liker. They do find the Talia, but it just doesn't matter. Everyone getting picked off. Jed, I hate to see it, but in ADC combat, Goofy Boy Joe has your number. And it's just absolute decimation as we're watching Rome fall in a single day. And the 35-minute game 1 is going to go over to Chud. It's Swarm against the world on this last stand, and just for ceremonial sake, they might as well find themselves another kill. Goofy Boy Joe, 1, 2, 3. The pin is falling. Swarm, he's in the abyss. He's in the gray screen. There's no more light. There's no more gold. There's no bitches. NQD absolutely dominated here in the second half of the game by Zafa's little Chuds.
Wow. What an amazing turnaround victory there for Zafa and his Chuds. I mean, that was such a different game 30 minutes ago to what we ended up having, but it's the stability. It's the knowledge that you're going to be fine, even if it doesn't look great right now, and just great teamwork, great synergy to bring things back around, having that internal belief that things are still going to be okay. That final fight even was a 4v5. It feels like Zafa and his team won every single 4v5 they took this game. They took plenty. Honestly, both teams, when they were 4v5, did pretty well. But the Senna was still down in bot lane while the rest of that fight was taking place, and it just didn't matter. That Talia was humongous. Look at those damage numbers. In a 35, 36-minute game, he's up at 1.5k damage per minute. That is insane.
50 Cal Taco played an incredible game. The worst bit, though, is 50 Cal Taco in those last couple fights did get caught. They were susceptible to overplaying their hand a little bit once they got overconfident. But that's what we've seen from No Quarter Dynasty as a whole, right? At least the rest of Chuds kind of have 50 Cal on a leash and are like, okay, You're playing super aggressive. We're going to peel it back a little bit. We'll play around Goofy Boy Joe when you're getting picked. We're able to do that 35 minutes into a Ascendant game. On the other side, no quarter. They get this huge lead. They get this 3K lead. Like, even look at the gold graph. They're up in gold for 2/3 of this game, and then they just keep overplaying. Like that, they literally win the game if they back before trying to rush Baron.
Yeah, I mean, that was a lot of micro things, but a lot of macro indiscretions to potentially look at, especially from the NQD point of view. I have to see how well they are able to recover, how they are able at all to bounce back as we get ready for game number 2 of the day. Chud taking that 1-0 lead. We'll see if they can continue that momentum through and finish off this series in style, or if NQD are going to send it 3 after this.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again, getting ready for game 2. Of course, game 1 was taken by Zafa's little Chuds. What a banger team name. NQD, a bit of a throw, right? Let's face it, late game team comp, they won early, and that mid game just became a disaster for them. A lot of getting picked, a lot of losing fights they shouldn't have lost, a lot of taking fights they shouldn't have taken.
Yeah, I feel like macro disaster might be the way to describe that game from NQD, but positives still to be taken away. The fact that they're still having good early games, even despite their overall record, shows that they can make something work as a team. And maybe that as a team has to come through with the individuals, because that was what was really doing well in the early phases. Swarm had an amazing start to this game. I'd like to see him in this one try to kick on from that. If you get yourself into another advantageous position, what can you do to then extend that advantage? Can you grab Seismic over from whatever else he's doing and enforce that advantage on the top side into a matchup that might not even be against a Styron? Because, of course, the Fearless Bands will take that away, and then top beat matters that little bit extra. If you can get advantages that way, especially when you choose red side the second time, I think that's a nice way to look for NQD. Yeah,
chat seems very, very on the favor of NQD having a good game. Apparently, people were messaging Swarm in between, and he's saying he got the comeback in lock. We're gonna have to see if that does play out. Of course, the Senna pick gone. I think Senna's one of the best ADCs on this patch. Chud's gonna have to find a different answer, and Bessa gonna be the first pick. It's a bit of a flex pick. Could go jungle, could go top.
Yeah, it's quite a nice flex pick to be using in a situation like this as well, because you sow the seeds of uncertainty nice and early on. It means they don't know if you're going to be taking it towards top lane. If you want it in the jungle, Jules does play quite a bit of it, but so does 50 cal. That kind of balance is really nice to see. As AQD, you're going to reply by going away from it entirely in some regards. The Xin Zhao Nico, which is not a common pairing either.
No, I don't love it. I seen the Xin and I was like, maybe we'll get a Karma. Maybe we'll get a Lulu, something like that. Karma going to be taken by Chuds. You put the Nico. I mean, Nico's pretty typically a support now. There was a time in life where Nico went mid, but like pretty typically a support now. You lock in Xin, you don't lock in the Enchanter. I don't love it.
Wow.
The response is going to be Karma, Caitlyn.
That's a crazy aggressive lane.
Yeah. I mean, you basically said, hey, we're winning bot. We're going to have you pushed in. We're going to invade your jungle. We're going to sit there. We're going to shove some bullets in your face. Jhin going to... Oh.
Jhin Nico? Are we really feeling the Jhin Nico these days? That's not a combination you typically see.
Yikes.
I mean, Jhin does like the more ability-focused supports, things that can help him from a distance. Nico sort of suits that profile, but you're also looking for CC, right? Anything that can set up the Deadly Flourish, anything that enables them the extra damage Jhin is able to provide is what you're really looking for. And while Nico might have some poke, it's going to really struggle into this lane in particular, and it's also maybe not as good at helping the Jhin out in that type of situation. To just pick a Jhin Nico lane, especially into something like Kate Karma that's on paper going to run it over, is a very interesting choice. I'll phrase it that way.
I'll phrase it like this. It's a bad choice. It's an awful choice. like I want to root for no quarter. I like the underdogs. But what is this? We lock in Xin Zhao, and then we lock in Jhin Nico. And it's like none of these champions, I feel like, complement each other very well. I mean, like, Nico Jhin, I guess, is fine. There's better picks. You're not winning into Caitlyn, Karma, and Bessa. That 3v3 kills you. And then we look on the top side. They've just blinded Cassante, which is a great blind on the top side. Victor is going to live it up in that mid lane. Shen, I think, is a great answer into Cassante as well. Like, I think Shen is a great answer, but Cassante can do a lot, especially when you leave, right?
Yeah, I feel like we're getting flashbacks to game 1, right? This is a very similar situation to what we saw in terms of the drafting. It's the first four picks going in the favor of Chud, and then NQD using R5 to get a nice counter matchup on top side. The issue is that you're then effectively accepting you're losing draft 4-1, when it didn't have to be this way. You didn't have to pick Xin Zhao Nico on 1-2. I think taking Xin Zhao absolutely fine. Pairing it with a Nico is just such a weird decision, especially when you know nothing about what the enemy team is going to be drafting. They can just take whatever lane they want. If they want to play passive, they can. If they want to say good luck, then they can do the same. With a Caitlyn Karma throwing down the gauntlet, there's no response to a gauntlet that's thrown down with as much force as Goofboy Joe and Osnapski just did. And I mean, now the only way to really save yourself as NQD is find a level 3 gank onto bot to relieve some pressure. But then all you've done is give Jin some gold. And who cares? You're up against a Cassante.
And even in that scenario, if 50 cal taco matches, you still lose. You don't win the 3v3. And my question is, you lock-ins in. Seraphine's off the table. Karma's up on it. Why did we not slam Zin Karma there? You slam Zin Karma, you see what they throw out, and then you have options, right? You can lock in an Ezreal if you want with Karma. I've seen the Kog'Maw come out with that Karma. You have options to lock in. Or if you really aren't feeling the Enchanter support for whatever reason, you slam your ADC and then you find the pairing after they lock in that gauntlet. Supports run that lane. They are going to go for something early.
Oh my god.
The flash taunt right off the gate. Gonna land on the Karma. Karma uses the heal. Flash is late. It's gonna be the first blood. I'll shut up. Nope, you're right, NQD. I'll shut up. My bad.
Oh, everything is flipped on its head in an instant. The lane phase still not guaranteed to be good for NQD because it's not going to be a base, right? This is not the old game where you can start the lane at a minute 30 and arrive late if you need to, right? You need to be there at minute. Osnapski is not going to be there, has no summoners, but it's still a Karma. And Swarm has got a small advantage himself, hasn't been able to spend the gold to really maintain that advantage, also has to use TP, so he's effectively double sums for the enemy supports double sums in top side. Jaws now has a free lane phase where you'd have a lot more pressure on him typically as the Cassante into a Shen, and bot lane doesn't have the advantage yet. When the first bases come around, sure, maybe Jed gets something then, but until that point, Chuds should still have a really good chance of taking over this bot side play, especially now we're playing a split map as well, because the Ambessa's going for the opposite side to start things off.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hate Ambessa's stock. Oh my god, a huge stun on Goofy Boy Joe. Goofy Boy Joe going to be forced to flash and get out of there with a 50 caliber net. Cleanse going to be used, heal use, flash use. I mean, flash and heal were already used. But you're down 4 sums. Both flash is still available for NQD. They're playing this really well, but an Ambessa level 3 gank is on the rise. Ambessa currently marching over to that bot lane, getting nice, ready, and sweaty for maybe a gank, but it doesn't look like they're going to take it.
He didn't want to go for it. I mean, he knows his ADC is low, I guess, so that must be why they called it off. But at the same time, why are we taking that trade as Goofy if we know that our Ambessa is playing the cross map? If we know that we're playing a split map, and we know that our Ambessa is going to have an amazing time getting a level 3 gank into a lane that really likes level 3 ganks, then what are we doing? Why? Why are we taking that type of aggressive trade? Why are we taking that type of a fight when we can take it 15 seconds later in a 3v2 that we're guaranteed to win?
Yeah, it's a very play for myself mindset and not play for what's happening on the map. I feel like this is something that, like, you see a lot in solo queue, not as much here. Now Seismic going to be looking for that level 3
They
gank.
didn't even get a
with no
ward.
camps up. Wind becomes lightning. Audacious, but no flash in. There's the Audacious charge to follow. They do go down. It's a bit messy.
It's a solo.
It's a bit messy.
Caitlyn doesn't even get an assist.
Yeah, I guess it's not bad. I guess it's not bad. I don't
great
think
if
you need
Caitlyn
to
doesn't get an
die
assist.
this
I think you can sacrifice yourself as the Zinzao, especially when you did get split mapped on and you weren't even able to counter invade. You choose to go for the bot side play instead. Your camps aren't actually up that early either. 50 Cal did a really nice method of the cross map, going Raptors into enemy blue, into enemy Gromp. Means that all of those camps are actually going to come up quite late. Seismic's quite far behind now in terms of XP. Sacrifice yourself, get your lane even further ahead. I don't mind it.
No, I don't either. I think if you Audacious charge in and then flash out, it's better than flashing in and Audacious charging to, like, try to... I mean, I guess they use it to follow, but what do I know?
Just guarantee it. Just guarantee it.
Yeah, I guess. That said, though, we're back in this interesting position, right? Last game, NQD found themselves up like this. And they squandered the game the mid-game. We're up
But it was
ahead again.
elsewhere.
Yes, it was
They
elsewhere.
were up
That is
elsewhere.
true. It was not the
that
Simmer.
could definitely matter, as 50 Cal's going for a second invade here. Does he get this off on the Gromp? He's spotted. They saw him taking the Gromp. Surely they're going to collapse.
No. There is the collapse beginning. Jack
that's right.
tries to get the Gromp. He doesn't. 50 Cal is able to confirm it. He drops that happy bee emote. Got his honey, and now he's going to go back to the Queen as he walks back into his jungle. And it's another missed camp for Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao already down double the CS right now in the jungle.
Yeah, and it's not going to get much better either. Look at the camps he has available. Look at what 50 Cal's going to have available in not too long. His top side was respawning pretty damn soon. Out of all of this, the Ambessa has definitely benefited, but it's come at quite a heavy cost from a Chud point of view. Caitlyn Karma is a lane that is oppressive, sure, but it needs to be oppressive, right? If you're not pushing constantly as the Caitlyn, as the Karma, then you're losing. You need the focus of your team to be on getting your Kate Karma ahead. That's why we did the cross map in the first place. It wasn't to get the Ambessa extra camps over the Xin Zhao. It's a nice consequence. It's a nice side effect. But it's not the reason. The reason was to get the Caitlyn strong and the Karma helping with the push the whole way through. That dynamic's kind of been flipped on its head. From that level 1 that we saw from Swarm, using the flash to guarantee the play onto O-Snap, and then getting the gank from Seismic, giving up so much in the jungle, is given the Jhin and the Nico quite the breath of life that was just not meant to be there. There's no Milio in this game to give a breath of life, and yet still they have it. Like, it's ridiculous. They've been given a reprieve, and look at how far back the Kate Karma's having to play as a result.
Yeah, Kate Karma should have been dominating this lane, but from level 1, it has been flipped on its head, and it's flipped on its head in a way that you would hate if you're on Chuds. They are stopping Jets back here, trying to get a little bit of that aggression going forward. It's just not enough, though. They don't have the damage in them, and also Caitlyn's bought Cull here.
Yeah, we are Cull versus Swifties and a longsword. Like, the difference in items is insane, as you would expect from a 2-kill plus an assist base, including First Blood, compared to, like, whatever, like 20 CS it was when Goofy got that base. Got the base from his death. Like, the disparity in bot items right now is absolutely huge. I wonder if this could even be worse for Chud if NQD had itemized a little more aggressively through bot lane. Bear in mind the Swifty boots are 1,000 gold. If that was like something like a serrated dirt, how much different does this game look right now for NQD?
Yeah, you would imagine it would be quite a bit of ways. We do have a dragon startup. That Cloud Dragon is started right now by 50 Cal. Despite the bot lane being a bit behind, it does appear they are able to claim the first dragon, which I think is pretty huge for Chuds here. I mean, you're winning top side of the map pretty hard, but to get that first dragon, you feel good. It is also a Cloud Drake. A little bit faster on the movement, a little bit faster on the Ambessa invades. They're not going to find an invade on this third Krug, luckily for the Xin Zhao, but I think that feels pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, taking first Drake as Kate Karma, bot lane is something like you tick the box, right? You've achieved the bare minimum at that point, but this really does feel like the bare minimum for this squad right now. Somehow the gold overall is even, and I feel like a lot of that is just through camps we talked about the whole way through in jungle, and also just kind of CSing as a whole in the other lanes, not being the best so far from NQD. As that's a Chud -1 cannon. Great timing for me for that one. We are making plays all over the place. I'm going to stop.
Yeah, there's going to be the root, and now a lot of damage going on to Mark Boots over the Arcane Storm is going to be the return answer there. Meanwhile, Goofy Boy Joe takes 2 tower shots, does fall to the Jhin. 50 Cal Taco on the run. Seismic going to land that wind to become lightning. There is going to be the deadly flourish to keep him knocked up for days. Starlight Laura going to find the kill.
Yeah, so I don't really know how that play started out in box. We were watching what happened in mid, but Mark Boots was able to survive that one. Let's have a look at how that happened. So they go 1v3 onto Jed, dodges away from the 50 Cal, has the Stand United with the Shen as well, and then Goofy did not realize he was tanking. I mean, technically the current call was wasted there, but it just doesn't matter in the end. Yeah, Ambessa goes down too. It's a massive overextension for Trud, trying to make something happen when nothing was there to be made. and instead they lose all the goodwill they just bought themselves by buying that extra bit of time, by getting that Drake, by equalizing the gold after those 3 early deaths from their bot lane. They just hand the goldie straight back over.
A flash going to come out of Chuds just to get away under that turret. Swarm is still winning that counter matchup. Having a pretty good time, of course, 3 assists deep at the moment. 1,000 gold ahead right now, NQD. It's not as big as their gold lead from last time, but it's still pretty big. They're finding a lot of avenues right now. 5-1. They have no objectives yet, though. They are down the objectives. The Grubs have spawned. How would you feel about Grubs as an objective right now for NQD? Because they do have a Shen. I don't know how useful Grubs is to them.
It's not great on a Shen, I'll be honest. I mean, Aurora can definitely have the impact in the side lane. Jhin is a Jhin. It's going to be quite useless there. I think a lot of what you take Grubs for, though, is trying to mitigate what happens into Caitlyn Karma. If the enemy team isn't taking them, you might not need to worry about it too much. It looks like 50 Cal is going to turn his attention up to the top side.
Yeah, 50 Cal is going to take them. Like you said, it's not bad on Caitlyn. I mean, Caitlyn's going to get some of those plating quicker, just slamming your turret, if she can get her way back into this lane. Because Sante can maybe find some extra plate. Like, I think it is a little damning when Shen leaves. But other than that, like, Grubs this game aren't the biggest objective. I'm more concerned about what happens in 2 minutes. It's this Mountain Drake. What soul do you think we're going to get this game? Or what soul are you hoping?
I think we're going to get Chemtech. I'm hoping for an Infernal.
Infernal would be fun this game, especially for NQD.
I love Infernal. Infernal souls are just great overall. They are the most fun, I think. Up there with Cloud.
Cloud is so fun. I don't think Cloud's all that useful, but I do love a Cloud soul.
Well, that's just telling me how much of an LCK hater you are. That's fine.
Hey, whoa.
You got to know what the best soul is. Cloud soul the best soul, but you can't get it this game because you already got Cloud Drake.
Does Cloud Soul still have the highest one, right?
I wouldn't be shocked. I'll see if I can find out.
I know it did for the longest time, which is why I started meme rooting for Cloud Soul. And it's also just, I mean, fun to run around. You know what soul I miss? Old Chemtech Soul. Old Chemtech Soul. I miss resurrecting.
Fair.
The
That
good old
does sound
days.
quite disgusting. I can understand why you'd miss that as a team with it. As a team without it, I don't understand it quite as much.
Don't you miss Invisible Rift as well?
I have to plead ignorance on that one.
Oh, come on. deep down, you miss when you would walk in the jungle and get invisibility on the Chemtech. Chemtech map.
I do not miss that. I didn't have it in the first place.
Have you never played? What?
Invisibility.
It was like
that's not me.
That was like there for a little bit on the when the initial Chemtech changes came out.
Brother, when? This is
like
such a huge derailment from the game. When?
What? Wait.
I'm not even like trying to like.
Crazy.
I'm not trying to gaslight you either. I'm just not that old school.
Oh, okay. I mean, okay, noted. Okay, for a second I thought you were saying like that just never happened. I was like, wait a minute, am I just wrong? Was there no? Did I dream it up? Was it only on PBE? But no, okay, totally fair. I was just like, huh? Mountain Drake though, getting back to the game, is started here. It is looking like it's gonna go over to NQD, and Bess is just farming her jungle, not really in the area. Doesn't really need to be in the area on this. I think dropping the strike is probably the correct call, to be fair. There's not a lot for you on to do. It's unfortunate there's not a lot on the map. We might look for a tower dive on that Shen. It looks like it's going to be the posture. They will be scouted an award for this. The question is, can they complete it?
I don't know. Into a Shen. He's half HP. Maybe there's something to be said there, but you're going to need to set up CC to allow the Zambessa in, and unfortunately you just whiffed every part of it, and that is going to see the end of that play. New Zambessa roll, I've said it everywhere I've gone, I'll say it here as well. The change in cast time on the public execution is everything. The fact that it's an extra 0.15 is huge. That's a miscommunication.
They go for the all-out. Bot Blossom going to happen in the bot lane. Starlight going to take a lot of damage. It's going to be the root onto the Jed, who pops barrier, and now the curtain call is here. Is it going to be lights out for Onopsky? It's not! Deadly Flourish not going to land. There's going to be a flash forward. Doesn't have that fourth shot. Does get the dancing grenade. There's going to be a huge engage from Mbessa, but she doesn't commit to it after the Shen pops at Stand United. Now between worlds is Liker, who gets caught in the Arcane Storm. The Gravity Storm going to come as well, but they find the double kill on the bot laners anyways. Here's the TP. Cassante now marching at them. It is a fiesta here in the bot lane, and everybody's celebrating.
Everyone's invited, but only the best survive. 4 alive for NQD, 3 alive for Chud, and again it's the bot lane who's getting punished. These guys unable to take a break after what was a very nice introduction to this series for the bot lane of Chud. They have been slapped in the mouth in game 2. 3 deaths apiece is a lot at most phases of the game as a bot laner. Support, it's a bit more excusable, but pre-15, I mean, this is kind of disgusting, especially bearing in mind how much NQD have got off the back of it. Look at those items in the bot lane.
Yeah, Collector going to be purchased versus Hextech Optics. It's actually like...
He has to have a good base here, right?
Kind of.
There's no way. I've just looked at it. He has to have a better base. Also, what
Meanwhile,
is that?
Adobski, I mean, it's a 3v1. Good night, Swarm. We finally get a death on Swarm, who was 5 assists up. You'd hope there'd be a good base coming out of that Jhin, because surely it's not that even, right?
Base.
Surely Cull's not that powerful. IE on base would be
2 waves of CS as well? I want to see this base. I want to see it now. Unless he is holding out for an IE. Is that what's happening? Mr. Shift, Mr. Production, can we press X?
He's gotta be. He's gotta be holding out. There's no way.
Can you press X? I want to see the gold, as that is aggressive.
That's a huge engage. 3 Talon Strike gonna come out of Seismic. When becomes Lightning. There it is. Yeah, wait. Can Kate...
How is he only on 300?
Well, there's going to be... Sorry, I'm in awe right now. Guillotine Mbessa just says hello to Seismic. Sorry, us casters are in awe at the Jhin gold. I'm still mad about it. Shibam had to take it away from us to get us to stop looking at it. There's going to be the curtain call. 50 Taco going to be on top of the Shen. However, his team is shielding him. Karma being the absolute GOAT. So is Cassante. They're going to win that fight, and just like that, shades of the turnaround begin. You know what it is? Is it tower plating? I think
it must be tower plating.
5 tower plates.
It's either that or some solid Balson's Law coming into effect. He hasn't even got the shutdown return. There's not even shutdowns appearing for NQD because they're down to 2k gold. It can't just be Cull.
I think it's Cull and plate.
Cull is like the investment you get back plus a little bit. Bear in mind you also had to spend 450 on the item in the first place.
You have 4 plates.
Yeah, Cull is like a plus 180 investment, I believe, overall. Like, it's not that crazy. It's got to be plates and that turret taken to the top side.
Okay, you get what, 125 gold a plate?
It's different now. It used to be so easy. They changed it.
And then...
all the plates give different amounts.
Yeah.
It wasn't first turret, so it didn't give extra from that. I'm so lost, but the fact that this is actually kind of even in AD is ridiculous. Look at those score lines. We're looking at 043 versus 304.
So you get
20 CS, and he's on equal gold.
Get 400. Wait, so you get 350 gold plus 1 extra minion. So you get 450 extra gold from the call.
But you paid 450 for it.
Yeah. Plus,
so I guess that's like still there, right?
Yeah.
So,
and then you get... I'm trying to figure out how much it is per tower plate. Does anyone... If you know in chat, please let us know what the math is on that.
Tower plate's weird now.
Is it like we just start buying Cull every game? Like, what has happened here?
I think Cull's a little bit misrepresentative because you still have the 450 gold that you spent on it that's now just like in the bin. You get 180 back. Like the Cull gives you 180 gold after you get 100 CS, effectively, when you sell.
But each CS you get, you also get 1 extra gold per kill on the CS.
Yeah, but that's for the first 100. That's the stacking of the Cull.
Yeah,
when you get 350, you paid 450 to get it in the first place. That's just your money back.
So do you just get the 60% from Cull? Is that all it is?
You just get it's 180, it's 20, it's 40%, right? You get 180 back.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's all. No,
wow, that's. I mean, that's really how he's 3-0-4.
Yeah, it's crazy. Macro death as we are preparing for a Drake fight.
Caitlyn just took a lot of words, but yes, Drake fight is here. There is already some curtain calls coming through, but not a single shot going to land here. The 4th shot being held. Misses. Oh no, it hits! It hits 50 cal Taco too! 50 cal chunked here for this Hextech Drake fight.
Oh, that hit!
Gotta find the root too. 50 Cal's going to have a hard time in this wave, but he does drop the Herald. It might just be a call to try to smash the turret. It looks like they're going to be going away from this one. The team trying to get some Poco. Cassante getting a big push on the top side. As the Herald crashes, it should be their chance to engage. There's going to be the Pop Blossom on a 3. Oh, God. Oh, God.
It kind of didn't work out, though.
Here comes the Herald. It isn't going to find anyone, but Cal has his health bar back. Oh my God, the Noxian Guillotine in the backline finds Shed, finds Starlight, they're both under 1 HP. The Arcane Storm gonna go forward and find Seismic, and they've turned this fight around once again. Another winning fight for NQD, turned to a losing one.
I am shocked. How is that a winning fight for Chuds? The Ambessa abandoned it because it was not a good fight to be taking. They literally said, we're not going for this play right now. Swarm tries to turn up using his ultimate. We see he gets cancelled there by Jost. I mean, I need to have another look at this. Like, we saw Nico's flanking as the minion. A 3-man Pot Blossom, and yet the health bars are the same. What is Karma?
Serpent's Fang would be really huge in the Zinzao this game, to be honest. But
the fact that that's a losing fight is ridiculous. That is absolutely insane.
Everything hurts right now.
3-man Pot Blossom, and you can't follow up on it.
Everything hurts right now in my brain. To quote Game Too Easy in chat, this shit is so depressing. It hurts to be an NQD fan right now.
Down 5k, it definitely hurts. I mean, now you lose out the Drake that you were guaranteed to get. The enemy jungle basically said, okay, you can have this Drake. And then you took the fight and you lost the fight. 3v4. And then they say, okay, I guess we'll take the Drake then. Like, that is the worst case scenario. Now you find yourself now 5,000 gold as well. Apparently, bot lane isn't going as bad as we thought it was either for Chud, which is still ridiculous to my brain.
You still had an IE over the Caitlyn in that fight, though, mind you.
I think he got it after, did he not?
Oh, did he? He might have got it after. That might be on me. God, that's so rough! What is happening in this game? It's still, like, they were still up. They were still up 1,500 gold. They're now down 5k. The NQD story. No quiet deaths.
Phase, but it's. I mean, a lot of it now in terms of the gold lead is the CS that's occurring. Look at top, jungle, and mid. Bot lane's doing a great job. Jed is doing amazing, up at about 10 a minute. But the rest of his lanes can't be saying the same as we now step face checking.
Face check gonna get caught huge. Pop Blossom gonna go forward. 50 cal Taco gets knocked up for days. However, Unstoppable does find that Noxian Guilty on a Seismic and walks his way out with the Karma Shield. Do we have Serpent's Fang? There's gonna be the Arcane Storm on top of Seismic. Ace in the hole. Bang! Good night, Seismic.
Beautiful shot, and that's a jungler dying around Baron as well. That is the worst place to be dying as a jungler in the game. He had flash, he could have survived. Even taking a base and running back wouldn't be as bad as the 30 seconds of grey screen that he now has to endure. The curtains have opened, but there's a Cassante in the pit. He just tanks them for days. Victor's in a little bit of a precarious position, but if they sacrifice one for the Baron, I'm sure they'll take it.
Yeah, it doesn't even look like it's going to be that sacrifice. Mark Beats able to keep himself alive, keep himself safe. And now, 5-man Baron. Lots of bounties to pick up for NQD if they can find them. There's a no-quit-die attitude to them right now. But is that going to be enough to keep them in the game? They're down 6,000 gold. They need to make a play to get back into this, really. You need to find a pick on somebody. They had a good angle there. We don't, though, have shield cut. We are playing into Karma and Bessa without shield cut. Buy a Serpent's Fang!
Yeah, I think, I mean, it would be even more the case if this was a Kentech Soul instead of a Hextech Soul. But, I mean, especially as Jhin, you can get it so easily. Your first item doesn't always have to be on the crit type. A lot of times we see some Ghostblade action. I feel like a Serpent's Fang first would have been a very nasty tech to take into Osnapski, but very funny at the same time, and also very impactful. The rest of his team just doesn't have the cash right now to spend on things like that. That the items that you want in situational play cost a little bit of extra that you just don't have.
I mean, at this point, is Seismic even ahead of to matter? Goofy Boy Joe going to annihilate this Nico for like the third time in a row.
Pressed out there, by the way.
Oh my god.
That was the shield that just got deleted. I guess he doesn't need shield cut. He just kills it.
Yeah, it just yoink, bang,
just shoot him in the head.
Another shot. It's the American sniper here right now, or the Piltovian sniper, I guess. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, bang, 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 and it's not the Jhin. It's not the Jhin we're talking about. As another curtain call going to be called. Guess what? Guess what's stopping you from doing damage? Everyone say it with me right now. Shield. It's
to be fair,
again.
they're all full HP. That means that Jhin ult doesn't do damage anyway. In his defense,
true enough.
He wasn't going to do damage there anyway, but in his non-defense, why are you pressing R when they're all full HP?
It's just hard to watch at this point as Swarm gets flashed out. They have such good early games. I want NQD to pull this back. I want NQD to make playoffs. They have such good early games, and the moment it hit mid-game, it all falls apart.
It feels like it's the moment that they're required to work together as opposed to be able to work apart.
100%. You nailed it. All out though into the back line. Cassandra going to be taking a lot of damage on the turret taken, and
it worked.
Yeah, because we have no shield cut. No shield cut. I'm mad. I'm mad about it. If you can't tell, I am angry. I play Xin Zhao. I'm used to buying the Serpent's Fang. I don't care if it went to the Jhin or the Xin. Right now, though, Aurora going to be able to annihilate the Karma. Maybe they finally win a fight. Shutdown goes over Swarm, but it's too little, too late. Next is going to be taken. Goofy Boy Joe goes on a rampage. Swarm leaves the game early, and Zafa's little shot find themselves 2-0, and now they're going to be moving up to the top half of the board in the standings and looking pretty good in the early season. They're now finding themselves at their second victory. They're 2-1 now.
Yeah, a very convincing victory as well. Games like this, especially when you haven't had the best start to the season, down 1-1, you lost a very close series 2-1. You won. Wait, my brain. I can work this out. No,
you got this.
They lost a series 2-1.
Yes.
No, they won a series 2-1. They lost 2-0. I can count. Their overall game scores 2-3. They won 2-1. Yeah. They lost 2-0. It's not been a great start, right? That's that long and short of what I was failing to say. Getting a convincing series victory like this, where it wasn't really in doubt from start to finish, is precisely what the Doctor ordered here for the Chuds, and they do exactly what's required of them. It's not just one person chipping in either, right? We see game one, a lot of it was through jungle. Latilia was insane. This around the Ambassador's still definitely there or thereabouts, but the damage graph will tell you it wasn't all the jungler this time. If anything, it was a lot more spread around where you may expect it, even from a game that finished this early. Victor and Caitlyn doing a lot, though. Those bars look very odd for the numbers they're suggesting.
Yeah, and also, like, Caitlyn, they got shut down super early in this game, and they managed to just be the annihilators in this late game. Like, Jhin and Nico ran that lane. They ran their pockets, and somehow we get to the mid game, and me and you are sitting there looking at the gold and being like, where did it go? You're 3 kills up. Where did it go? I don't know, because it's clearly not in Jin's pocket.
That's the crazy thing. It wasn't even a shutdown. It was just like getting macro maneuvered by the Caitlyn Karma. You expect to lose some plates, right, into a Kate Karma lane. The fact that I was get 3 kills and 4 assists on the ADC off the back of it, like, that has to be enough to power you through into your kind of mid-game spike. But the issue was it just didn't ever come. The mid-game never spiked. The Xin Zhao was always behind the curve just based off the early exchange. He sacrificed himself to get the Jhin ahead. Okay, fine. That's your sacrifice. But then the Jin's got to do something. You have to have a reason behind picking Jhin instead of picking anything else that you could pick, because I'll be honest, in this game, in this situation, you could have picked any ADC, and he may have gotten fed the exact same way that we just saw. It was over-aggression from the Caitlyn, over-aggression from the Karma alongside, but because it was a Jhin, it somehow didn't even matter that he was that far ahead. Early gold expenditure on boots, I understand you get extra stats from Swifty boots that isn't just the swiftness, isn't just the move speed, because of Jhin, but you have so much gold given over to you early on. 2 kills and an assist on your first base, and we're not buying a straighted up when you're still going Collector? I mean, come on, please, let's be more aggressive. Let's have some sort of impetus on this game. Let's look to take it over instead of just sitting back and getting rolled instead. Yeah,
I mean, like at the end of the day, when you look at Chuds, they decimate. When you look at NQD, there's so much stuff on for you. There's the draft, of locking in Zim without the Enchanter and leaving Karma up. There's the build, never buying Serpent's Fang, buying those boots really early, and then ultimately there's working together in the mid game. And that's what you kind of take away from this series if you're NQD. But if they're able to get that fixed, we could see a later run through not Vanquish. We could see a later run through Ascendant, maybe see them make a playoff run. But that's going to be all from us today, of course. Is there any final things you want to say before we go ahead and send this out?
I want to say that it's not all negatives. Right. Thank you, D. You pointing out their early games were very nice. Their laning phases, especially at the start, show a lot of promise. This team shows a lot of promise. I know we've been quite negative towards them today, but part of that is you justified from losing a series 2-0 where you didn't ever look like you had a chance. I think if you can focus on your early games, maybe find a way to play like a 3-winning lane type comp instead of the comps they chose to go into instead. They could have a big turnaround in form, but drafting for red side to get one counter pick and sacrificing the rest of your draft is not a way to consistently win games. Playing to consistently get one lane ahead at the cost of the other two and your jungler is not a way to consistently win games. Unless you have one guy who can literally 1v9 every single time, you got to try and spread around the love. You got to make sure that everyone's getting to eat and everyone's still having fun. And I think NQD, as I said, there are very positive signs to look at. There are positive things to look forward to in their future. But I hope they can look back on today as maybe the turning point in their season.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, today could be the turning point. The only way to tell is by tuning in next week. Of course, every Sunday at 8 is going to be your Ascendant League. We got a lot of stories to tell. Chud going to be moving up. Congratulations, Chud, for the winning series. NQD, we hope to see more from you because there is promise. There's just a lot of things we need to take away and work together to fix. Tonight, though, of course, Romeo. That was Rue. Rue, where can they usually find you, by the way? You cast
everywhere. I'll be around
everywhere.
places.
That's true. I was going to say, Rue is someone I see all the time. Phenomenal caster. Tonight was produced by Shivam. Thank you guys for joining us. There's about 45 of you guys here, so thank you all for showing up. And we are out.